BDONBITS, whatever you want.
A nice shiny new BDONBITS.
BDONBITS, a real winner.
There's always room for BDONBITS. Just gotta love BDONBITS.
Yeah, that was all me.
It's now live.
Yeah, we're now live. What's up, everybody? Long time no see. It's only been like 2.5 years since I recorded one of these last time. Yeah, I guess I'll reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon, and I'm making a podcast to talk about mine and other people's passions, projects, and playlists. Today I have a guest with me piloting this rebirth of my podcast. This is Albert. Say hi, Albert.
Hi, Albert.
Yeah, that's all you need to know about him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so how I used to do the format of the show was like I'll talk about my own passions, projects, and playlists, and then I'll have somebody else talk about theirs, and that's it. But I'm gonna try something else this time where it'll be more open as we go throughout the whole format, whereas me talking about my passions, projects, and playlists, and someone else talking about theirs, and then at the end of the show, as an added bonus, I'm going to mix all of the songs in each of our playlists together in a live mix, which is why I have my DJ table here. If you're watching the video, you can see
you can see 4 buttons of.
You can actually see 7.5 buttons.
Out of 8. Yeah, and a bunch of other little ones.
Yeah, fascinating stuff.
Totally.
So let's get into it now. Well, we shall commence.
Oh, God. Don't hurt me. What are you doing with that?
Tighten your cheeks. If you can see on the video, nothing's actually happening. So, okay. What have I been passionate about lately? Let's see. I don't know. I feel like I've settled down a lot after, I guess maybe I'll go over what happened in the last 2 years. If anyone listening hasn't seen me in the last 2 years, which is highly unlikely.
I've never seen you before.
Unless you're someone who's never seen me before.
Unless you're a random person on the internet just stumbling upon a podcast, which is, I get a lot of those too, but anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I have no idea what your interests are if you're just stumbled across this podcast, because it probably doesn't pertain to really anything. And maybe you just want something to listen to that doesn't talk about anything. And you like the sound of our smooth, sexy voices.
Smooth,
late night radio.
Voice.
Oh, yeah. Bringing it to you live. Okay, I'm done.
No, actually, we always sound like that, so.
Yeah. My mom calls them like, hey, Mom, my toaster doesn't work. How do I, okay, whatever.
Yeah. I like that. Do you actually speak to your mom like that? That's a little weird.
I usually talk about how my toaster doesn't work, but it's actually fine.
But it's like, hey, Mom.
No. I'm not high all the time. Yeah, so last couple of years, what happened? I quit a job that was led by a 90s rock star because I didn't really get where the company was going. And now I'm working for a larger company doing similar stuff, which is app development, but for TVs now instead of Android and iPhones.
Do you have your soul intact still?
My soul? I don't know. I feel it's slowly leaving day by day, but I'm at a point where it's kind of like plateaued. There's not much soul left. But I think I can maintain this shred that I have still for the foreseeable future.
Did you get any soul back when you went to Seoul?
When I what? Oh, yeah. That was another thing. I just got it. Yeah. So I got married earlier last year in the summertime. My wife is Korean, so we also went to Seoul, Korea later last year to do a Korean wedding ceremony there too, which was really nice. Yeah, so that's where that joke came from, and that's what I was going to talk about next anyway. And that's, yeah, we bought a house, got married.
Just to be clear, him and his wife, not me and him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure he wishes, but
yeah,
sadly no. It's me and my wife, who's not part of this episode. She's out with her friends right now doing girl stuff.
Shots.
Yeah, doing shots at 2:45 in the afternoon.
It's AM. Just saying.
Yeah. AM in the afternoon. Yeah. So those are like
after morning.
That's true. But technically, like, everything's after morning.
Yep.
after some morning. It's somebody's birthday somewhere. Have a shot.
There you go.
Yeah, those are like major highlights. Moved out, got married, got a new job. My wife got a new job like a few months before moving out together. She's working for the government now, doing government stuff. So hide your kids, hide your wife. Not really though.
But actually,
yeah, yeah. So since all that happened, I've been keeping it pretty low key. Toned down some side projects to have more time for myself to do more fun,
more
low key things like this. Yeah. Well, not necessarily more side projects involving other people, just more stuff that I want to do on my own, like this. Like at least that I want to like spearhead on my own, lead the creative direction on my own, which is what I'm doing. I don't know how it's going so far. We'll see.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
If this podcast gets more than 3 views, it'll have been a success.
Yeah. Hey, well, actually, my second episode has the most views out of all the 3 that I've done, and it was like 100-ish on SoundCloud over 2 years. So
I want to know who is actually listening to this.
It might be myself, like, and my friend who is on that episode playing it over and over. Maybe the topics are more interesting because we talked about like Rich Dad Poor Dad, the fall of Ronda Rousey, and mosquito burgers. So some pretty interesting
hard-hitting
topics.
Shit.
So yeah, down to the issues is what that episode was about. So we'll see where this one goes to. This one can top that. We'll see. Yeah, so those are
Should I take off my shirt or?
No. Just skin to win only works with the ladies, I think, for the most part. Or if you're like chiseled AF, but neither of us are.
Yet.
Not yet.
Right.
Yeah. New Year's resolutions, man. It's still January.
Yeah.
We'll get there maybe by next January.
There you go.
I'll have 1 out of the 6-pack.
Just get a 6-pack of beer. Speaking of.
Yeah. Yeah, drinking is not forbidden.
I feel like we should crack a beer if you have any.
I don't have any actually. Yeah. Oh, another highlight that I'll mention is I got like Beyond plastered, I think total of 3 times last year, but the most recent time was in Korea with local Korean drinkers, and I could not compete at all. That was like the closest I've ever come to alcohol poisoning, and that led me to make the executive decision to not have more than 1 drink per event going forward.
How long has that lasted so far?
Since then, actually. Yeah, I've never had more than 1 drink per event since October of last year, so it's been like 3 months.
I keep forgetting it's January. You say last year, and it's like defaults to like 2016.
Well,
like,
we've only been in the new year for like 1 week, so we're still in that phase.
6 days.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so those are kind of loosely what my passions have been lately. Projects, I'd like to start this podcast up again and see where it goes. It's kind of fun just to like chill and talk to people on a one-on-one basis with a make-believe audience in front of you. And
hey man, there's right now we're in a concert hall.
Yeah, we're in a
thousands of people.
Let's pretend that you don't know that there's also a recording of this, and yeah, there's like a mad crowd in the background.
Do we have like a cheering sample we can play to pretend? Yeah. Okay, there you go. That is the crowd of
We're just that far
thousands.
away from the crowd that they sound that quiet.
Yeah.
Thousands. That's how big our stage is that you can barely hear the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd like to see I guess how smooth of an operation I can get running with the podcast and make it fun for the whole well, I don't know. Fun for everybody who enjoys podcasts and wasting time. Which I think is a fair portion of the population.
You know what? I think that this would have an audience for people at work where you just want something kind of idle banter, like just not like
something in the background so you can like passively. I like podcasts because you feel like you're passively learning stuff depending on the topic, but I don't know how much learning will be going on.
Well, hold on. I don't got the Wikipedia because you're charging my phone.
Do you have your thesaurus? Your pocket thesaurus?
Yes, but I'm just happy to see you.
Okay. Oh. I got that. Okay. So yeah, other than this, what else do I have for projects? I'm trying to learn more Korean as to be able to talk to more of my wife's family and stuff. Because when I went there in October, I couldn't say too much, just the standard hello. And
Guys,
I want to eat and stuff. Yeah. but it's fun. Like I did a free language school last when I got back in October, and yeah, it's pretty chill. It's fun. I've always liked learning languages. Like I've done Cantonese, Mandarin, Japanese in the past. And those have been fun. But I'm not fluent in any, sadly. So I figure it's time to try to get fluent in something. So I'm going with Korean for obvious reasons. Yeah. So class is going to start again in a couple weeks from today.
Looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it.
What do you do during these classes? Like, is it like
it's like free classes run by student volunteers at the university here.
Okay.
And yeah, you just meet for like 2 hours every Saturday, and it's just like they introduced a new like program format where, as before, it was really traditional, like learn the grammar, learn the writing, learn everything like that. And then this one's more focusing on like understanding and speaking.
So it's language club.
Yeah, it's more of like a language club. Well,
yeah,
they have like a bunch of different languages you can take, and their beginner level is still like the typical.
Yeah.
But I went on to the intermediate level, and they're doing it like this format, where it's like they kind of have it like listen to a recording over and over until like you've memorized how it sounds, but you don't necessarily know what everything means, but you feel like you know like the tone and the flow of everything, and then the next phase you try to like transcribe it all. And then look up actual words and stuff. And then in the third phase, you actually like record yourself and compare it against the original audio. And yeah, I found that it was like really helpful. It was my first time doing that, like last semester, which was pretty fun. Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Oh, nothing. I'm just looking around. I'm looking at our huge audience that you can't see.
Massive. Look at this. This is like, if you're watching the video.
Yeah. It's huge. It's actually on the other side of the video.
Yeah.
We just wanted to look at the camera, so yeah, exactly.
We'll just pan around and you can Photoshop that in, right?
I think you can Photoshop stuff in videos.
Okay, yeah.
I've seen it done.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
In the 80s.
Yeah. Back in the day. Yeah, I think that's mostly it.
You working on any other side projects other than the podcast?
No, just podcast, learning Korean.
Tell us about your app development adventures.
App development adventures hasn't really gone anywhere. I guess
that's okay. It's fun to hear about.
Yeah. So one was gonna be this restaurant-based app. You would have one app, go into any restaurant, and that app would just pull the menu from whatever restaurant you're at as soon as you walk in the door. You could seat yourself or be seated by a server depending on what setup the restaurant has, and you can just use your phone as the menu and order things from there. So picture like, I guess, Starbucks app or those McDonald's tablets, just for like, but it's a universal remote for it. So walk into any restaurant and be able to do the same thing. And we were kind of targeting independent restaurants at the time who don't have their own like franchise solution like Starbucks or McDonald's. So there was interest, but the guy who started it, the original founder, wanted to handle all the business side stuff. So he kind of just kept that all to himself, left it all in his hands. And he broke up with his girlfriend, went through some depression, and things kind of didn't proceed from there. So I handled the development for all of iOS and did some work on Android. Both products are like actually in the app stores, but they're just demo versions right now. They're not actually like functional in the restaurant, although they could be. The development's there, so the products are just kind of sitting on the sidelines, waiting to see what happens. Yep. And then another one that's, I guess, like kind of showing some life. It was a live streaming app for, they originally wanted to gear it for stories related to sporting events outside of the sporting event. Yeah. Which I didn't really fully understand it, but it's essentially in terms of the features, it's a live streaming app where you can chat like Periscope or Skype or something like that. The only difference is you own all of the content. It's not like going through some other platform. And there's only like an approved set of people who can stream. So I guess like Twitch. And they can keep the recorded live streams for repurposing for, I don't know, in the sports context, it would be for stuff to play when the game's not on. Or there's also like a news context, so you could like shoot the news live without having to bring heavy cameras everywhere and have people like chat to you while you're streaming, so you can potentially ask somebody questions you're interviewing as per audience suggestions. I think those were the two main use cases with news and sports. I'm not on the business side of that one either. So the business side of that are two co-founders of the company I quit before, but they left the company before I did. They got pushed out because they were giving too much pushback on the direction of the company, which used the same tech in the music scene, but there wasn't really any money there. So that's why they left, and they wanted to repurpose the concept, the back end for other use cases which could potentially make more money, which they decided were news and sports, but the needle's not moving too much there either. So, and also with this one, I handled the developments. I just made like an iOS prototype that works to show the concept, and they're just kind of bringing that around to all their sales meetings, but haven't had a hard sale yet. So just waiting to hear back from them until we do something. So that was a couple months ago. I haven't really done much development on the side from that. My main job is just programming TV apps, which is like video on demand and stuff like that, which has been, I don't know, it's been all right.
So for your side projects, do you feel like these little, I guess, adventures helped you learn anything about app development? Like, would you say they were just something that you did to get paid, or did you get something out of it?
Oh, I barely got any payment from that. Like,
yeah,
for the live streaming thing, I got zero payment. That was just like, oh, you own a percentage if like we actually get a sale, and if we get a sale and they want you to make it, like they're not buying it out, they'll just like pay me some money.
So did they want to be further. You wanted to be paid on royalty or be part of ownership? Or?
Yeah, I'm part of ownership on both.
Okay.
It's like kind of a small percentage though.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then with the restaurant one, my friend actually paid me to get that out the door in like less than a month.
Yeah.
I gave him a pretty cheap rate. I think it was like $2,000 or something for like a month of work. And I was like really like pedal to the metal with that, because we thought we had a hard sale at the end of that month. So he's like, we need to get this done. Like, I know you have a job, but I need you to like spend your off hours doing this to like by the end of the month. I was like, okay, let's do it, because we have like this real deadline. But that was for a hotel originally. We wanted to do the restaurant concept, but for hotels and room service. But we realized from that they individual hotel owners, if they're part of a chain, don't have that much say that they can try these things out in their hotels. And if they're smaller hotels, they feel like they didn't have the manpower capable of like fulfilling but a potential increase in like room service orders and stuff like that. It was kind of like a lazy excuse, it sounded like, but we decided to just like kill the hotel concept and go for restaurants, because like individual restaurant owners can have like 100% control. I guess the only downside there is apparently their margins are quite small, like in the food industry already. So they don't have too much to play with for these fancy things, especially if they're like mom and pop shops. So
I'm gonna drop into a completely random. This is the human interest part of it. So you bring up small restaurant margins, and a lot of the staff in restaurants are on minimum wage. What do you feel about the minimum wage increase?
Actually, interesting point about that. That restaurant app wasn't like my brainchild. It was the brainchild of like the other co-founder, and then somebody else who like left because he got like a big boy gig outside of the city or something. I forget exactly, some kind of engineering. He had to go to Fort Mac for, but him and the original founder, they just kind of like drafted up this idea, and then like that same week was when the political party in power introduced like they're gonna raise the minimum wage within the next 3 years or something. Okay. And they're like, wow, that really worked out. So they argue that like they're not replacing the servers. It's more of like a tool to help them be able to manage more, because they figure the businesses are gonna try to cut labor costs anyway. So like you'll get less shifts, or they'll have less on staff. So this tool kind of helps the people who are still there, but it won't be like a full replacement.
So you're directly involved in, essentially, I'm not gonna say automating the industry, but
automating a piece of it. but
Automating it.
I think that's how kind of it starts anyway.
And redirecting resources to where you think
Yeah,
it would be better
exactly. I guess the talking points there were that this doesn't take away the server's job. It just allows them to focus more on the experience than having to like run around and take the orders too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll be able to schmooze with the guest a little better.
Work for that tip.
Yeah, work that tip exactly. And yeah, I don't know. So
You'll also find random bits of innuendo sprinkled in.
yeah, yeah.
If you haven't noticed already, because I'm sure I've done a few already.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not mainly because Albert's here, but there's definitely an increase because Albert's here. I have a few.
That was completely unlike oh, the word I'm looking
planned.
For. Can't find the word. I had no influence on that.
Undo your belt buckle because you heartily laughed so much that your pants popped open.
Yeah, so let's go with I laughed so hard that my pants popped open.
Okay. I've seen that happen too many times. I've actually never seen
Are you
that.
sure it was from laughing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a little too excited. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say that's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of where that was at. That's where both startups are at right now, just kind of sitting on the sideline. So my side projects don't include those too much. Albert's gonna blow his nose. You'll probably hear. Probably hear him in the background. Albert's got a really loud sneeze, but I don't know if he can control it to like do it on demand. Does that be a no? Okay. Have you ever tried like rolling up a tissue and you kind of like stick it so far up your nostril that it like makes you sneeze?
It blows my sinuses out. I've never tried to force myself to sneeze because obviously my sneezing is not fun.
It's really loud. Yeah. If I could do a quieter imitation of it, it'd be like this.
Just like the crowd that is so far away that super quiet. He actually just teleported about 100 feet away.
Yeah.
And he just did that and he came back.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much covers all my side projects for now. So as far as playlist goes, I don't know. What am I really listening to lately? I've actually gotten a lot more into K-pop for seemingly obvious reasons.
Oh man, you remind me of my 14-year-old self.
Yeah. But they're actually, it's like, okay, the difference between
here's his defense.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I feel like there's a strong difference between like the boy bands from that we all grew up and love, like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and like girl groups and whatnot. Because like those were a fad that kind of died, but the K-pop scene has like seemingly stayed the same since then, and it just like kind of got bigger and bigger.
Why?
On like a global scale.
Why do you think?
I think because like they can actually dance. So they're that much more entertaining to watch, and that they're not only that, but like I feel like they put a lot more effort into like their music production too. Like the companies that manage them or whatever, like they probably have like people who know their shit for like making really like good instrumentals that are hot right now, and then matching those with like the people who can work well with them. And then the choreography is always like, you'd never see like Backstreet Boys or NSYNC doing like backflips and shit, whereas like a lot of K-pop groups have a lot of finesse to do all that, which is pretty, I think it just adds to the entertainment. So
my addition to this is that I don't disagree with like how that the K-pop scene it's a product. It's a really well-made product, right?
Yeah, it's like definitely a well-oiled machine.
But that's exactly it. I think here in North America, we value individuality, right? That's true too. So when the boy band, the boy group, I guess, it was really hard to differentiate, individual personalities, right? You all had a favorite, but that was only because he looked a certain way.
Yeah, you're like a super fan, but like someone just watching them for like, I don't know, the first 1 to 5 times probably like still can't distinguish who that person is. Yeah. And then like, it's the person with the pink hair instead of the person with the blonde hair. And so what I feel like K-pop's done is that they've tried to almost dispense with the individual. They obviously market an individuality aspect, but they've almost kind of put that to the sideline and focus on what people actually like to see, which is choreography,
and awesome music.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the fact that they're, they all essentially look the same minus a different hairstyle.
Yeah,
right?
it's kind of like, I think with the group, it's like their songs that they put out are like their songs as a unit, and then whoever's like writing them and stuff, they're like, oh, this part's going to be for this guy, this part's going to be for this guy, because they work well together, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, it almost seems like there's a lot of like really thoughtful, almost like engineering going on in the background of
it's
the
pure,
songs.
I would say it's pure engineering. Like this part is written for this exact person at this exact time because they're good at X.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I think like, I'm just thinking now, like to contrast it with like the Western pop scene back in the day, like I think of S Club 7 when they had that like first song where it's like they're actually introducing the members in the song, which was like, it was like kind of fun at the time, I guess, but you look back and you're like, that was actually campy. really corny. And they don't really seem to do that at all with K-pop. It's more like they're gonna highlight it with like their style of singing or like their rapping or whatever. That's another thing too, is I feel like most of the K-pop groups have like a singing plus rapping component, so they're a lot more flexible with like if they're gonna do a ballad, or they're gonna do like an upbeat song, or they're gonna do like some dirty trap music that their band can like kind
it's
of
like, hey, we got a guy for that, we can bring him out.
Yeah, exactly.
They got like a 9-person band and each one's like good at one thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I don't know, you can maybe like get into the personalities of each members the more you listen to it, but it's not as like corny as the Western way to introduce people. But they also have like their variety shows and talk shows and stuff too, where they'll have the bands on. And
you mean they don't scream their names at the beginning of the song?
Yeah, right. That's another thing. Yeah, I don't think. Well, I'm sure there are some artists that do, but yeah, it's not going to be like every Jason Derulo track.
Jason Derulo.
Like, you're like, I wonder who's singing this song. Jason Derulo is like, I'm so glad he did that. I wouldn't have known any other way. Yeah. I don't think he does that too much nowadays, probably because
I think he realizes that.
He's said it enough already.
It's like, oh, it's that Jason guy again, because he has an individual voice, right? And you can basically tell when he's on the radio through his voice alone. You'd be like, oh, that's Jason Derulo. I didn't need the intro.
I think that also in like in the Western music scene, it's more like you said, individuals. There's a lot more solo artists that I can think of. But then I'm not super well versed in the K-pop scene. I'm sure there's a lot of solos there too, but it just seems like the group is like
we get the
much bigger. Yeah.
I think it's hard. Like I've seen the same thing. It's mostly just like big groups that concentrate on this amazing choreography, right? But it makes all the videos just choreography, which if you've noticed or not, right? Like, watch a K-pop video.
Always focused on them, and like I think it's really rare that there'll be kind of like a story in the video,
or like just a random. It's just always just let's dance, let's show off,
let's dance, or like it's like pick an emotion. You have like let's dance, let's make you sad, or let's make you like happy or something, and then like that's the whole purpose of the song and the video and everything. It's like it's much more narrowed in. It's narrowed in on a broad spectrum of people to appreciate.
Versus something you get like Sia's Chandelier, which is just a 12-year-old girl doing like contemporary dance through an empty house.
Or you get kind of like the alternative music scene where it's like the band and their instruments.
And it's raining. And it's raining.
And it's very like specifically targeted, not like everyone on the whole.
You got to be in the
genre
right
spectrum,
frame of mind to appreciate the video almost.
It's a little more abstract, if you will. And whereas the K-pop seems like you don't need to try too hard to appreciate it.
To see like, damn, they go dances.
Yeah, they're good dancers. Oh, they have a good voice. This rapper is on point. The instrumental is like dope. Yeah. So on that note, like some of the K-pop artists that I really like is BTS, who've like recently come to global fame, I guess in the US and stuff, being on Ellen and Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
Do you want to just to cut you off a little bit? Do you want to play a little sample for now, or do you want to wait until the end there?
I guess may as well wait. Well, I don't know. Fuck it. Let's just play a little sample. I think I have. I think it puts it in, like ready.
We're obviously doing this live. I think it just puts it into perspective, right? I mean, we can hear the full song later, and you can mix it in.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Yeah, because I originally wanted to just like mix everything at the end of my show, but if we're talking about the music, may as well just like play some music right now. So if anyone listening has not heard K-pop before, this will kind of give you an idea. I'm just gonna drag a K-pop folder into my Serato.
Well, we'll just keep on talking while he does important things on his computer here.
Yeah.
As I just burn time, and I think there's one right at the top there.
Oh no, yeah. This one I love. Well, okay. I can actually play both. So I'll play this one first. Right. This is like my favorite BTS track.
All right, here we go.
It's really like it really reminds me of like Tropical House, which was popular like year and a half, 2-3 years ago, and then this is kind of like
I'd still say it's got some, but it's died now.
Yeah, it's no longer at the peak, but this kind of came out when it was around the peak. Okay. So they really harness like what's in the now. So here's a bit of that. I'll just.
Oh, that's Kygo. That sounds like Kygo.
Yeah. I'll go a little bit forward so you can like hear that.
숨 쉬고 싶어 이 밤이 싫어 이젠 깨고 싶어 꿈속이 싫어 내 안에 갇혀서 난 죽어있어 Just wanna be lonely Just wanna be yours 왜 이리 깜깜한 건지 네가 없는 이곳은 위험하잖아 망가진 내 모습 구해줘 난 돈을 잡을 수 없어 내 심장 소리 들어봐 잘못대로 널 부르잖아 이 까만 어둠 속에서 너는 이렇게 빛나니까 그 손을 내밀어줘 Save me, save me I need your love before 그 손을 내밀어줘 Save me, save me I need your love before 그 손을 내밀어줘 Save me, save me Save me, baby 그 손을 내밀어줘
I like that. It had it wasn't the tropical house sound too. It was what the future house sound that kind of
they had like both, and future house was like kind of I feel like
in popularity.
Yeah, it was like tropical house went up fast. Future house kind of like gradually built up.
Now
in
it's
terms
just
of
like
top popularity.
hardcore. Everyone doing the future, but
so,
that was actually quite nice.
Yeah, that was BTS. That song was called Save Me, and that came out I think in 2016 springtime or something like that. I don't know if this one was newer or older, but this one's like more hype, and like the previous song had the nice kind of soft vocals.
Yeah.
This one's more of like the hard hitting rap, and it's the same group, just different members doing their thing. So that really adds to their like versatility. Yeah. So this is dope.
어서 와. 방탄은 처음이지?
That intro.
Sick intro, brah.
Yeah.
Hey yo ladies and gentlemen 준비가 됐다면 부를게 yeah. 딴 녀석들과는 다르게 내 스타일로 내 스타일로 밤새 일했지 every day 네가 클럽에서 놀래 잘 몰랐지만 겉으로는 I gotta be 난 좋잖아
I'll kill that one there. But yeah, you can tell like their sound kind of really changes song to song, even though it's the same members. And they have an instrumental that's like hot at the time.
Yeah,
so,
that was definitely very topical. You could tell exactly when that was from.
Yeah, I feel like it has like similar vibes to Going Down for Real, like the Flow Rider song.
Yeah. Which was like 2014 or 15 or something.
So yeah, I'm assuming it's like in the same year or something. But yeah, I don't know. It's you can listen to the same group over so many years, and the sound like constantly updates to reflect like what's hot. I think that kind of adds to the success as well, where it's like they're not trying to do something super crazy and like lead a new direction. It's like, this is hot right now. We got to do this. We got to push.
They're not trying to pick one direction.
Exactly. They're not picking one direction then splitting into five solo directions. Yeah. So that's BTS. That's one that I really like. Another one is called WannaOne, which is just kind of a stupid wordplay on a TV show that they were formed out of, where there was originally 101 idols who wanted to in the next big K-pop boy band or girl band was the first season. I only watched the second season where it was boy band, and they narrowed it down to 11, and then those 11 made a band. I think like a 2-year contract or something to release songs together and stuff in there.
So I guess you'll also notice that these groups are a lot bigger because we have so many different talents, right? You see a boy band here, it's like 5 people max, and I think S Club 7 was actually really big. But
yeah,
you get like TLC, I think is
3.
Yeah,
yeah,
and yeah,
NSYNC at 5.
NSYNC was big, yeah.
Yeah, you've had One Direction at 5. I think it was typically like that was the recipe in the 90s, like
5.
Get 5 people. I can't recall like many girl groups that were like US specific.
Yeah.
There was like Spice Girls.
But that's
UK.
The whole girl power thing was just basically just Spice Girls off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I guess you could argue you could argue Hanson.
that was only 3, and
but
despite how girly looking, they were boys.
I think
they're still boys. Yeah,
I think.
Well, I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
researched for a Hanson update. You never know. Yeah, the girl scene was more like solos.
Very solo.
Yeah, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera,
Some Dido. You're like, who's Dido?
Dido's UK too, though. I think.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's yeah. So I don't know. I haven't kept up with too much new music other than what I've been hearing on the radio for the past couple of months, just because like the K-pop craze has gotten real ever since that Produce 101 was what the show was called, with the 101 idols who want to form a band. I think that came out last summer, and then my wife found every episode online, and they're like 2 hours each episode.
Jesus.
And we like, I think it was only, I want to say like 10-ish episodes. So we marathoned the whole series like in a week or two. And then since then, she's been like hardcore keeping up with like their appearances on TV shows, their new releases and things like that. And then kind of a couple other bands on the side. And that kind of piqued my interest as well. So I've been more up to date with K-pop scene than I have with, I guess like new producers and artists in the Western world, which I don't know, not too bad. I'm trying to get more back into like the EDM scene as well. With my intent is to buy a Club Killers membership sometime this month. Albert just renewed his Zip DJ membership, these are both record pools for those unfamiliar, which are kind of like music sources where you pay a subscription to, and then you can download basically all you want, and it's geared towards tastemakers, i.e. DJs, to get the newest shit to push out and make popular before you hear them on the radio. But you also have access to like all the old stuff too. It's just a really good music source. That's
basically the people like how charts are determined are basically partially sales, but also who's playing what music on the record pools, because they track how many times it's been downloaded and all that stuff, and it's actually kind of one of the main ways like you see like the hot charts, right? Like it's not just consumer driven, it's also driven by record pools.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because I think a lot of the labels have deals with some of these pools or something, so it's legal. It's not like you're getting everything through a torrent, and you're getting like the
real
full quality and everything.
Yeah, this is like all legit. The only stipulation is you essentially got to prove like you are a tastemaker.
Yeah, depending on which record pool it is.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's because I did like the cheapest one I could find, and I think they only had like one recognizable label.
Yeah,
in their whole pool, which I think was Dim Mak, and they only signed on like a few months after I bought it, so it was like $12 a month.
Yeah, but
they didn't have too much, and he didn't have to prove anything. But I think on Zip DJ, you have to prove
pretty heavy duty. So I just renewed it, and they actually had to ask me what time and where can they find my radio show. So I actually do have one, so it wasn't too hard, but it does ask you for proof, and you have to be like approved by an administrator because they check your shit, right?
Yeah, so it's not just the everyday consumer can have a record pool account and get all this ton of music. Yeah. But I don't think the criteria is too like strenuous.
Yeah,
you can probably just like put together a Spotify playlist and put a few episodes on your SoundCloud or something for free, and then
you could fake it. You could fake it, but in the process of faking, you've actually just become a tastemaker.
Exactly. It's like fake it till you make it, which that's like literally the direct translation in a real world scenario.
It's like, oh, I need to, you know, put out a public radio show. I could do that. I'm not going to get any listeners, but it's pretty
interesting
easy.
story where like that crosses over with K-pop is this guy I met a couple times living here in Edmonton. I had no idea about this until like, I don't know, several months later. I was friends with him on Facebook after the first couple times, didn't really see him, and then he posts some stuff like, yeah, go for it. I can keep talking. I'll talk extra loud so you can hear me from over there. I'm just going to the bathroom, by the way. He tried to like low key whisper it to me, but no, we don't need any secrets on this show with the people you see in front of you. Now one less, but yeah. So this dude like I guess has a YouTube channel, and he just kind of like posts K-pop songs that he finds. I don't know where. They seem like pretty underground. Some of them like nice R&B stuff, really kind of not so mainstream sounding K-pop songs by people I've never heard of or seen on the charts for the most part. But yeah, this guy just posts songs on his YouTube channel and has over 100,000 subscribers. I saw this post where YouTube sent him that like golden button or something that they do for their channels that have more than 100,000 subscribers. So that's essentially a tastemaker. Someone like that would have access to a record pool, and all they've done is just collect music they like and put it on the internet for other people to listen to.
Oh my god, that was so good.
Yeah, a nice pee.
Yeah.
Or the fastest poop ever. Just sit down, in and out, one wipe, done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's the perfect poop.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, I guess, record pools in a nutshell. Yeah, so that's kind of all I got for what I've been listening to lately. So we can shift the focus to Albert and see what some of his passions are and what projects he's been involved with lately. So what are you passionate about, Albert? What stokes your fire? Is that even something people say?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. What stokes your fire?
A stoker.
That is very literal.
This is fairly freeform. So I've been also, this is the part of the New Year's thing. I take a hiatus, but I do release a podcast I try to do every Sunday, but I take a hiatus in the summer because I have other passions. This is transitioning very well.
Yeah.
But I think that's the kind of the first I actually planned on prepping for today, and then kind of wrote me to doing this. So you probably noticed that we both kind of know a little bit about music, and this is kind of why, I guess, because we're both, I'm not going to say working DJs.
We are occasionally working DJs.
Occasionally working DJs.
Very
with day
occasional,
jobs.
yeah.
And more like music enthusiasts who tried to take it to another level. Because I guess, you know, this is one of my passions, to get nerdy about music, right? When we talk about how something sounds and what year something was made in, it's very topical, right? Because we've listened to enough to figure out, you know, this is a very popular sound in, say, 2013. I guess just, I'm not really going on the passionate bit, but like, I guess in EDM, or electronic music, not necessarily electronic dance music, it's just trends shift very quickly.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd say almost every 6 months to a year, right? Like tropical house was big, I'd say end of 2015, early 2016, and then future house, which is what you've been hearing a lot more of in 2016.
Oh yeah.
Or 2017.
Yeah.
Just like the songs you just heard, they shift quickly. I think Big Room House actually enjoyed much longer than basically any other genre in recent memory. It enjoyed like a solid 3 years. Like
Big Room?
Yeah. Prog House, Big Room Prog House, like that whole sound. That was like 2000.
Yeah.
I'd say like 12 to 15 or so, right?
Yeah.
Like I think Adam, I would call Nara Milani's Adam like to be the quintessential big room sound house. Like you remember that song, right? Maybe we could play it. We could play it.
Do I have Adam?
You better. It's actually like 2012 or something.
Like Adam, like Atomic Adam,
yeah.
right?
And it should be by Nara Milani.
I have no idea.
What the shit is that?
I do have your.
It might not be on there because it's like it's old enough that that you might not have it. But okay, let's I'll just keep on talking about it. So it was, if he can find it, it was the kind of the song that kind of made this huge, the first song that I can think of that made this really big stadium kind of sound, that if you played it for a crowd of 50 people, it'd sound a little weird, but if you played it for a crowd of 50,000 people, it was very, I guess, tribal sounding, right? You think you can find it? Maybe not.
I don't know where I put your content folder that was on your. Would it be on those USBs?
It might have been. It wouldn't have been something I played a lot, but okay. Let's go look. So yeah, like it. One of my passions is music. That's why I'm going to continue working.
Working.
I was totally no. I was reading
this.
I was reading that while I was talking.
Yeah. He was okay. I'm just looking through a folder, and then we saw "Work It" by Missy, Elliott.
Yeah, you're gonna play it. Yeah,
I'm gonna play it because this is
Okay.
obviously on Albert's mind as he was talking.
Missy Elliott's on my mind all the time.
This is Missy Elliott "Work It" Stooki sound remix. This is in my to sort folder, so i.e. a folder I haven't touched in like years. So I don't even know what this remix.
Oh god, let's hope it's good.
Let's just hope it's good. I don't think this could be big room house, but no, it's not.
What the fuck is that in the background?
It's really shitty too. There's a lot of things. I'll go.
Yeah. That is noise. That is shit.
I don't know why I had this.
That is shit.
I'm just gonna delete that right now because
okay.
No one needs to hear that again.
What do you mean? It was amazing. No, I would. Yeah, that was pretty grimy and not really. I think with enough drugs you could dance to that.
Yeah. Or if you just don't really care about how you look when you dance.
Just type in Adam, I bet you.
Well, I'm
type
sure...
in Nari. Nari.
Nari.
Yeah.
Okay. We're looking for this legendary big room house song that apparently started it all, but I don't think I have it.
Yeah, I know you don't. You got a bunch of like folders and shit.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's probably not going to be there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I do have big room house music that I could play a sample of to kind of.
What's a quintessential big room, like a big sounding?
Okay, let's sort by artist, and you can figure it out because there's a lot.
Yeah, but we're looking for something in the early.
Something that set it off.
Yeah. Something that you guys would recognize, not necessarily fucking Animals.
Oh well, did Animals really a big room house?
It defined the sound. It defined the sound of a generation. By generation, I mean 6 months.
Fair enough.
So if you've never heard Animals, so when this song came out, it was new. No one had ever heard this sound.
That is true. I distinctly remember like my first time hearing Animals, and at the time there was like really nothing like it.
Yeah,
it felt like, and then it just took off.
Yeah.
So this you've had to have heard this at some point in your life, but I'll play a piece for you either way. Yeah, that's Animals.
So you all know about it. Just to speak on this a little more, it wasn't so melodic as it was just heavy hitting bass and like a strong like, one or two different notes. It's just like, that's it. Yeah. And it was kind of like, this was like the defining, I guess, big room house sound for a bit. Right? Would you say that? It was very.
Oh yeah. You have like, not much melody to work with, and it just smacks you in the face over and over and over again for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And which is, great if you're huge crowds, but not if you're in a small intimate setting trying to, get your groove on, right?
Funny thing is, I actually did play this exact song at a wedding I DJ'd last week. Yeah, last week.
Did it go off? Did it go off?
It set off because what I like to do at the weddings I DJ is do a dance battle. And like it'll be a few rounds between like people from the groom side and people from the bride side.
Yeah.
And when the groom and the bride finally like stepped up to face off against each other for their battle, I played this right at the same part where it builds up, and they were like just going hard. It was went really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost that you can play it unironically now because it's been, I guess, retired and kind of older. That when you hear it just like Levels, you can play Levels unironically.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, that even though
You know what's funny though? I haven't heard Levels in actually like a long ass time.
Okay, well let's play some Levels.
Okay, you'll definitely recognize this one too, just because like yeah, I'll just play it from the build up here.
Go. Oh, come on. That was like, it's blue ball in me, man.
Yeah, well, just you get a couple strokes and you know what the rest of the strokes go like.
It's like, yeah, like disappointment and failure. Yeah, no. I mean, what?
I think a little bit of some
Overshare.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, anyways, so I guess one of my passions is like kind of nerding out over music, and I guess we're both nerds in that respect.
Yeah.
So, you know, we put on these podcasts to basically get an excuse to nerd out.
Yeah, and what's your podcast called, by the way? Here's some free advertisement to our massive crowd.
It's called Noise Nights.
And how do you spell noise?
It's Ngoise. So it's a play on my last name. You probably were about to say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because my last name is Nguyen, so there's the G is silent, so I put in silent G in Noise. Yeah. I have a Mixcloud, DJ Noise, spelled exactly like I said. But enough about that.
And then let's actually go back to the story of how you came up with this, because it's probably not super interesting, but I haven't.
You haven't heard the story?
I think I have, but I just don't remember because it's been a long time.
Oh, so I had a buddy over, and it was just basically like, not you, unfortunately. It's like, hey, what should we call this? And we're just drinking beers and shooting the shit, right? We're like, how about you call it Noise Nights? And I'm like, damn.
Silence.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, but it is actually silent for a bit. I was just thinking about it, like, you're really good at this whole corny pun thing, aren't you?
Yeah, right.
So,
it blew up from there to how many followers do you have now?
I don't know, like 4.
100? I thought you had like 100.
Okay, yeah, there's actually like 100, but I thought 4 was for comedic effect.
Okay.
Okay, so I actually have 4. They're very dedicated.
I don't think you need to try for a comedic effect.
Fuck you.
Comedy will just come naturally.
Like 4, but actually it's like I know that for a fact that half my listens on one of the podcasts is from one guy because he tells me.
What? One guy just keeps playing it over.
Yeah, because he loves the thing, and I'm like, why does this have like 700 listens? It's like,
wow.
Yeah, I loop this like every week. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Is it really that good? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, man. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
You know, nothing other to say than that, right? I mean, I didn't produce the music. I just put it together in a way that's easily to listen to. So yeah, he's my biggest fan, probably. If you loop one, actually it has like 200 listens and maybe 100 are him.
That's pretty good. I think like any mixes that I've put up, the most I've got, I don't think I've like rarely touched 100 listens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a big deal for us small timers.
Yeah. We really do it for the people who know us and are basically our friends that want to know more about, you know, it's just stuff it's flavor to the character, I guess.
It's like, give me a playlist for my life.
Yeah. And yeah, like, you know, people actually appreciate that. Now with the advent of, I guess, like Spotify hitting mainstream, you know, we've had to do it less and people just throw on a Spotify playlist, right?
Yeah.
So it's still curated. It's still curated by someone somewhere, maybe not. I think there's someone putting them together and not just AI generated.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's you know, I'm not gonna say the DJ is dying, but the DJ who makes playlists for his friends is definitely kind of, I guess,
automated.
Yeah, automated, and they pay for a service. It's like, why don't you pay me $13 a month to play you music? I'd do that.
Yeah.
Like I'd do that if like I got like, you know, 10 friends who did that, I'd be happy.
Is it $13 a month?
I don't know what Spotify is. Like
I remember like being $3 or $4, but those might have been student prices.
Yeah. Point is, it's like this subscription service, and you have playlists on demand based on your mood or what you feel like listening to, and that's a damn fine deal.
Yeah. That's true.
Can't keep the music, can't play publicly, but no one really follows those rules.
Yeah. One advantage that we'll have over Spotify is that they'll never like put on Spotify for their wedding dance.
Yeah.
Unless they're really cheap.
Yeah. And you also get the random song in there that may or may not make sense, right? Like it's...
Yeah. Like you'll get some shitty remix of Missy Elliott's Work It.
Jesus. Where did you get that? Like that is hot garbage.
That was so long ago, I don't even remember where it came. I was like, before I even heard of record pools, I dug around a lot of blogs and stuff.
And really shady. I'm not going to say shady, but like, this is my remix I've been producing for 3.5 weeks. Check this out.
Yeah, sometimes not even that long. It's like, I made this song in a week to see if I could do it. Check it out. I did it. It sounds like shit, though.
Yeah.
Please don't ever play this live. And then I don't know why. I guess like back then I thought I was like, oh, that's a cool concept. I don't actually like the song, but he made it in a week. I'll download it.
Or hey, this is a new sound. It's a shitty new sound, but it's new.
Yeah. But a lot of those places I think are where some of the bigger names today started.
Yeah.
At least so.
They figured out it's basically by guys like I guess us, digging, and we were like, that I haven't heard that concept done before. Right. Yeah. And let's see if I'm going to play this in a club and see if it gets big. And that's why they call you the tastemaker, because you don't necessarily, it's not popular yet, and you don't know if it's going to be popular. So you
throw
play
spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
Yep. All of it, if you do it right. Anyway.
Depends how long you cook it for.
If you do it right.
Music production, innuendo, not really.
No.
Just parallel.
Just spaghetti.
Yeah. So, what's funny is like, look at the time that we're at now, 57 minutes. And before I started recording, you're like, I'm not going to stay with you for an hour.
Fuck you.
Guess what?
Guess what? See you later. See you next time.
Yeah.
No.
You still have to cover your projects and playlists.
Could we do an episode 2? That was mostly...
In the next 3 minutes, because I want to keep the talking like around... But I feel like if it goes over an hour, who has time for that?
Yeah.
Who's going to listen to that?
We could probably edit this, maybe.
No. That's too much work.
It's
just going to be all straight.
Yeah. No, I feel like I think we actually should do an episode 2 of this, or maybe just make this a regular thing. Because I think
it could be 2. I originally just wanted to be like, it's going to be the Beat on Bits podcast 1 hour with whoever wants to hang out. But there can be repeat guests, or we can make it specific. Like an idea will be generated here, and then that will spawn some new creation on the side.
We'll see. This is fairly freeform. I think we obviously have good chemistry because we know each other. But I mean, what are your? I'm fairly open to whatever. It's not like I have hardcore commitments that I can't drop an hour here or there to help you out, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
but try to get through your projects and playlists in the next 2 minutes.
Fucking guy. Okay. Anyways, so projects. The biggest one is that. That's kind of self-directed. I don't have any other kind of I guess creative outlets other than music right now.
Which is perfect because now you can skip that and just talk about your playlist.
Hey!
We'll make the deadline.
If that's what we were all going for, but okay. So playlists. I mean, so what I listen to a lot of are basically live sets from shows and stuff. This is where kind of DJs play new songs that may or may not have been popular or released, and kind of field test them, right? And most of them do well because you're drunk and high off your mind and you'll dance to anything. So they get released as actual songs. So I can't really pick a specific song, I guess.
Maybe just pick like a few that are on the top of your head.
Shit, man. I have to go through my phone, which is far away from me.
You don't have to. Just like, is there anything?
So the other day I was Shazamming and I've heard it like 30 times. I couldn't remember the name, and it was called Complicated. Do you remember that?
Oh, was that like a Deadmau5 one?
No, it was Dimitri Vegas, like
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, Avril Lavigne. It had a side of Dido. I've mentioned her twice now.
Yeah. This is the only podcast where you'll hear Dido's name more than twice in an hour.
That was 3.
Yeah.
Damn it, why did we say Dido?
No, we can't stop.
Fuck. So it was a brain burner for a bit. I've been listening to a lot of, I guess, artists that keep the old progressive house sound instead of migrating to the new future house or whatever's popular. I mean, 3 Lau or Blau, if I call it 3 Lau because it's a 3. Anyways, he's essentially said he's gonna keep progressive house alive, and that's kind of like my genre. So instead of going for something topical, why don't we just play something from Blau?
Okay, yeah, cool. And we're like almost at the end of the podcast anyway, so,
Yeah, so
I can
we're-
just like transition into mixing. So
Yeah.
I think a good little mini mix to capture what we talked about
Yeah.
over the past hour would be like probably some old school big room, some
Yeah.
progressive house,
Some
a little
K-pop.
bit by Blau, and some K-pop.
You can
yeah, so-
definitely work K-pop. That was like 120. Well, it was 70 BPM, but you can
Yeah,
put that in.
there's definitely a lot. So I guess like on that note, we can just
Yeah.
sign it off here and then transition to the mix.
Some Vice tone.
Some Vice tone. Yeah, that's true too. Okay. So thanks for listening if you
Yeah.
actually made it this far, and we'll see you next time. Or you can stick around for the next few minutes and listen to some dope beats, man. But
D-Jack out.
yeah, no, it's D-Jack off.
Oh, damn it.
Get
Damn
yeah.
it.
And if you don't know what that means, D-Jack is DJ AK, the abbreviation from my DJ name, which is DJ Astrokoi. I have no idea where I came up with that name, but yeah. So,
Yeah, it was. How high were you?
so I'm just gonna shut off the mic here and then get into.
I think
some
you
mixing.
wanted D-Jack, and then you're like, what fits with D-Jack?
I actually didn't. I have no idea. Like it was originally okay. Well, I'll bring that up next time. We're like already over. an
Okay,
hour.
let's go.
Nobody
Mini
listening
mix.
anymore.
Okay.
Mini mix starts. Mike is shutting off now. So see you next time.
See ya.
I might have cut you off that part. Okay, so we'll keep recording. I'll just cut out the awkward silence between this.
Okay. Time 3:40. Gotta work on my podcast, man. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking got it.
I'll be there.
Surprise. No one messaged me.
I'm moving here. No one messaged you?
Yep. Surprise.
That's sad. I'm gonna move this up a little so we have some.
You mean we don't want to provide commentary on your mixing?
I don't know, we can. I'm
Commentary?
gonna angle the camera so you can see the decks too. I can potentially repurpose this for yeah. Yeah.
It's like, check out my sweet hands, man. Check out my laptop face.
Okay, let's get some.
Were you checking your email?
Let's start off with some 3 Lau actually. Let's go. Yes. This is a mashup. He used to make a lot of mashups.
Ho, shut the fuck up. Ho, shut the fuck up. Ho, ho, shut the fuck up. Ho, shut the fuck up. Everything seems like a city of dreams. I'll never know why, but I still miss you. There she's standing in a field of lies. I close my eyes, but I still miss you. I still miss you. I still miss you. 시선 고정 너에게 눈부신 shining shining 제발 내 맘을 pick me pick me 너와 있는 이 시간 너무 빨라 불안해 멈춰줘 hold me hold me 마지막까지 pick me pick me 너는 내게 너무 예뻐서 꿈일까는 너무 두려워 기억해 제발 이 순간 tonight 오늘 밤 주인공은 나야 나 너만을 기다려온 나야 나 네 맘을 훔친 사람 나야 나 마지막 다른 사람 나야 나 오늘 밤 주인공은 나야 쉴 틈 없이 너에게로 달려가 눈이 마주치 순간 모든 게 멈춰버리듯이 너와 나로 가득해 한 걸음 걸을 때마다 그림자가 되어 널 지킬게 눈이 부셔 이 순간이 내게 너 꿈만 같은 걸 텅빈 마음에 가득 채워 너란 존재 너 하나만 꼭 끌어오게 너에게만 내 문을 열게 어떤 단어로도 이 기분 설명 못해 상상할 수 없이 feels good 아름다운 너의 미소 묘하게 나를 뱀처럼 깊숙이 파고들어